Everyone, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. It's the 14th of February, 2021. Let's talk about some sports algorithms for a few minutes. We've just got a few minutes. Let's talk about college basketball. So, today, look at this chunk of teams that are a little bit injured here. Some home teams here. That's kind of interesting, all in a row like that. It's kind of weird. We'll talk about yesterday in a second. Let's see, is there anything interesting today? First thing I always like to do, check the underdogs, which did not help yesterday, by the way. The underdogs went 2-6 yesterday, so that was not great. Um, Rare bad Saturday for that. As for this Sunday, it looks like Oral Roberts at home is at plus 140. We've barely got them with a margin with this 9% bump, so this is a really close game. Lafayette, that's Louisiana, is away at Loyola, Maryland, but we have them still have a margin even though we're bumping Loyola by 9%. So both those lines are reasonable. Probably at least one of those wins. So that's why if you play both, you end up getting, yeah, we've got kids in the background. It's busy. All right, so what else is here? Of course, where we align with Vegas, where both of us believe that this team is the favorite, which is what that means when this money line is a negative number over here. That means there's confirmation from both the algorithm and the odds makers that this team's going to win. So we look for teams that have good money lines like Madison. James Madison at home against Hofstra. I could go to that game today. I wonder what time that game is. It would be a drive, but I could get there. I don't know if they're probably taking fans. So Madison's got a reasonable line there. So does Morgan State against Norfolk State. So does California Baptist against Sacramento State. Then we start to get into the 200. Southern Illinois is kind of reasonable. Indiana State is away at Evansville. Maryland is at home against Minnesota. Minnesota's hurting, so that's a good line right there. Another game I could go to. Maryland minus 143, but Minnesota's operating at 81%. I really like this pick, but you never listen to me. Always listen to the algorithm. It's got a margin of only 6% with them being home. So it says Minnesota's a slightly better team overall, but they're on the road, but they're also hurting. That's why I like Maryland here. Loyola against Drake. I think Drake must have had an injury yesterday. We had liked Drake as an underdog, and they ended up getting crushed. I wonder if it's because they got somebody hurt, given that they're down to 83% now. So that's the look at college basketball for Sunday. As for yesterday, with all those games, we're going to talk about hockey in a minute after this. Yesterday, 68-26, 49-45 against the spread. However, I'm disappointed, and that is because look at the underdogs, 2-6, and I had some underdogs. I lost money yesterday on college basketball. I lost like more than 50% of what I won on Friday. So I had a very bad day yesterday. And Seattle loses here by more than the spread, too. Gosh, this was a killer. I had a lot of money riding on Seattle in a bunch of round robins last night, and they just couldn't pull it off. So that stinks. 10 games for New Mexico State. Maybe that had something to do with it. Anyway, all right. So the rest of the games, though, look at that. Still a lot of wins up top, right? 19 wins in a row. Some losing here, but what was interesting was look at where the health percentage was bad for the opposing team. Did that work out? Like, here's 184 against 100. This team wins. 86. It was 79 against 86, though. 75 is a winner. 65% here's a loser on the wins the spread, but money line goes to Syracuse because it's a big spread. What else here? There's a loss. Team at 90%. There's a loss on the spread. Here's a loss with Toledo at 84% against Bowling Green, right? As soon as you get a little lower, there's a loss with Southern Illinois at 79%. I don't know why I've got this Lafayette screwed up. I got a problem there. What's going on there? Northern Iowa loses to Valpo. Valpo was plus 225. I had Valpo because I saw this at 72%. Valpo is playing them again today, I believe. They played somebody today, but that was very interesting. See that? That's 72% for Northern Iowa. They lost all around. And the same thing here, 83% for Arizona, loses to Oregon. West Virginia at 80% loses to Oklahoma. North Carolina State, 81%, loses to Duke massively. They lost by a ton. So this health factor, I definitely like what's going on here. That is something to watch, especially down low. Look at all these teams with low health factors losing, 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 losing. I mean, that is really good stuff. That is so like to look at that today. Do we have? Yeah, I got my kid doing a YouTube video in the background uh, for his own channel. Um, I so looking at today, where do we see that health issue? We saw it right here, right? See this? 72, 79, 79, 72, 78, and even a 93 here. Look at Arizona State, Northern Iowa against Valpo again hurting, and Southern Illinois, both teams that are seriously hurting. I would consider taking Illinois State, Valpo, and Oregon State all with the points. That would be plus 4.5, plus 5.5, plus 4, because they are healthier than the other team, and that's distorting things. That's an interesting play right there. All right, let's move on to Hacky. So, 2 games on the slate today. Some of the goalies are confirmed, some are not. Samsonov probably playing for the Caps. I mean, good line at plus 108. We don't think the Caps are as great of a team this year due to this interesting goaltending matchup. So it's liking the over in this game. What's the over-under set at? 6.5. That's why. Yeah, Vegas agrees with us. So we think there's going to be 7 points here, and so does Vegas because the goaltending matchup's a little iffy. In terms of just taking the Caps at 108, that's the money line there because they're an underdog against Pittsburgh at home. So even though their goaltending's a little weaker, interesting game there. All right. Colorado and the Knights. Knights. But Colorado's goaltending at Grubauer, better ranked than Fleury this year. So I like 2 underdogs today. Plus 108 for the Caps and plus 102 for Vegas. This game might be a little lower scoring. And they have that at a 6 or 6.5. So the under in the Vegas game is an interesting play because you look at both good goaltenders. This could stay under 6. It's predicting 6 exactly, but that's if you can get under 6.5, I totally would there. Now, how about yesterday? Yesterday, a lot of games. Looks like we go 4 and 6 on both projected score and adjusted power. Where did we lose? Yeah, nobody had this audible Winnipeg. Winnipeg just doesn't put up the points. So low scoring game, as you can see, that Winnipeg doesn't get to 4 like they're supposed to. So, all right, that's a loss for everybody. I get it. Vegas and San Jose, like this a lot. Pretty much in line with what we had all the way around. That's good. Boston, the Islanders. Boston blows this game. I think the Islanders came back and it was 2-2 late. Boston did not put up the Varlamov's been playing pretty well. As you can see, Varlamov playing better than Tuukka Rask. They both been playing really well. I had the under in this game, ended up being a push at 6, but that's tough loss there. Tampa Bay and Florida, this is very well in line with what we wanted. We had 5-2, 5-3. They went 6-1. Cover, perfect. That's good. Tampa Bay's a winner. Here's a loss with Montreal and Toronto. These games have been weird. Predicted a lot of goals, but Carey Price ended up playing. I think I had a goalie change there. Carey Price plays instead of the other guy, and Frederick Anderson plays well, but they still lose 2-1. Tough loss there. It's hockey. Columbus blows this game to Chicago. We had the other way around. They blow it late and ended up losing this game in regulation, I think, or maybe it was overtime. Bummer there. Detroit, we knew that Nashville's not a good team. Detroit, we thought this would be lower scoring, but Detroit does put up more. Bad goaltending, does hit 6 goals. Low scoring game. We thought that Detroit ends up putting up a bunch early. They had a few power plays there that helped them. Carolina and Dallas, like this. This is right on line. We thought it was going to be 4-3. It was 4-3. Pretty much perfect as you can get when it comes to predictions there because of the bad goaltending. So that's a great play there for the algorithm. St. Louis, high scoring game. Lower goaltenders, and St. Louis pulls it out 5-4 instead of 4-2, or right? That's fine. And then Calgary loses a game to Vancouver, and they just didn't put up the offense because Thatcher Demko played pretty well, and Markstrom also played pretty well, but they still lose 3-1. So coming along. More work obviously needs to be done here, but as for today, we got a nice little underdog parlay of Washington and Vegas trying to underdog it up. and win today. So we shall see. All right, good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.